Hey guys, Graham here. Welcome to the final episode of the Viewfinders Photography Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the recent episodes between amazing Chris Floyd and the legendary Jodie Cobb. I couldn't think of a better way to end the series, but it didn't feel right to just let things end without saying a proper goodbye myself. First off, why is the show ending? Well, a couple of reasons. This past year I've got more and more busy with work and I just haven't had the time researching new guests, recording episodes, editing, and all the back end work that comes with each episode takes hours and I just can't get it done anymore. Also, you might be able to hear my voice. It sounds a little bit different. I've had something going on this year that's affected my speech, and obviously that makes the whole thing a bit harder as well. So, after 59 guests, over 30,000 downloads from over 120 countries, and 8 live events, what are the takeaways? I took up photography in high school and then went to college in my mid-20s for a couple of years. But since then, I've really been on my own with no teacher or mentor. I learned by trial and error through some tutorial videos and books and through a couple of workshops and seminars that I went to over the years. But I always knew that if I could spend time with other photographers who were further along than I was, that I could learn so much. But I never really had that chance to assist someone or come under someone's wing. I never had the mentor that I always really wanted to have. So during the pandemic lockdowns, I was itching for something to do, so I thought about starting a podcast. I knew that I wanted my show to be about more than just photography news and camera equipment. That didn't interest me at all. I wanted to get into the thoughts of great photographers and find out what makes them tick. Why do they take photographs the way they do? What happened in their journey to inform the choices they make, and what are they thinking when they have the camera in hand? I knew if I could do that I could have a different kind of mentorship that I could really benefit from, even at this stage in my career. I've learned so much from this experience. As a professional, if you spend time with people like Stefan Jan, probably the best car photographer in the world, or Karen Thomas, one of the best food photographers around, or Chris Floyd, one of the finest portrait photographers you'll ever find, you can't come away from those conversations unchanged. Other people like Mitty, Paul Sanders, Ulla Lohman, and Mark Wilson have impacted me on a more personal level, challenging me to live with more kindness and compassion. Then there's the photojournalists, people like Jim Richardson, George Steinmetz, and Jodie Cobb, who taught me to have the courage and openness to widen my lens and move towards a subject. And how about my heroes, the people they say you should never meet? People like Gregory Heisler, Howard Schatz, and Joe McNally, who, unknown to them, have been constantly with me on my photography journey for the last 10, 15, 20 years. What a privilege to have that time with them and have them answer the questions I've always wanted to ask them. If I could sum this up, have I learned to be a better photographer? For sure. And the fruit of that is clear in the progress I've made the last couple of years. But more importantly than that, I've learned how to ask questions. I've always been a shy guy. I've said this before, but my instinct is to step back and zoom my lens. I have memories of being made to feel stupid by school teachers for asking questions in class. I think at that point I decided that to ask a question was to look vulnerable or thick. Because of this, I've always tried workarounds or hacks to get where I'm going, instead of risking the vulnerability of a more direct approach. But of course, how else do we gain knowledge but by asking questions? So, the biggest thing the podcast has given me is the courage to be curious, the permission to ask questions, to challenge myself to improve, and not to be scared to say, how did you do that? Or what were you thinking there? Or why did you do it that way? Understanding that I could learn and grow by asking questions might sound simple to you, but to me it's been a game changer and I'm so grateful. I'll be leaving the podcast up on Apple and Spotify for as long as I can, but eventually episodes will move over to YouTube where they will stay. I want to thank all of my guests and each and every listener around the world for coming along with me on this adventure. You can still find me online, just Google me. I'd love to keep in touch. In the meantime, take care, enjoy your photography, and I hope you can find something, somewhere or someone that makes you feel at peace with the universe. I'll see you out there.